Chapter 25. The next night, the last night of vacation, Frankie sniffled into a tissue as he stood on the beach in front of a handful of family and friends gathered to witness Maya and David renew their vows under the stars, surrounded by candles tucked into the sand. He hiccuped as he recited the ceremony passages by heart. Frankie wasn't the only one sniffling. Even Muffin was discreetly wiping her eyes on her sleeve. The simple and enchanting ceremony was planned in less than 12 hours. I had received Maya's frantic call at 8 in the morning, ordering me to get out of bed for a shopping trip. The shopping trip took an entire day. We raced from store to find the perfect dress. I begged her not to shop for shoes since we'd be on the beach anyway. Then it was off to the salon. Then to a family dinner. A Miller family dinner. I sat between Maya and Ian, dodging Grayson's glowering stare. It was worth it, I thought, as I watched David and Maya standing at the edge of the water, gazing into each other's eyes. As he leaned his weight on his good leg, he took Maya's hands into his with a tender smile as she spoke to him.
David, when you're far away, it feels as though my heart travels with you. It has belonged to you since we first met. It will always be yours no matter how far away you wander, no matter how long you're gone, and no matter how much I hate it. I love you with all my heart. You're my past, my present, and my future. You're my everything.
Maya, you are my light, my beacon. On those days when I never thought I'd survive, to the nights filled with nothing warm but my memories of you, you kept me safe. You kept me going. You are my one love, my only love. When we are parted, I only want you. And when we're together, I only see you. You are my everything.
Frankie sniffed into his damp tissue as he attempted to finish the ceremony.
Oh, to hell with it.
He sobbed.
Just kiss your wife.
I quietly chuckled at Frankie as Maya and David kissed to a spattering of applause. Glowing paper lanterns were set free and floated up to the twinkling sky. Nice ceremony, I said, handing tissues to Frankie.
Nice?
He questioned.
It was beautiful. Did anyone take any pictures? I need a copy for the website.
Drinks are on me,
David called, leading Maya to the hotel.
I'm in,
Muffin said, plowing past.
The night is still young.
Ian whispered in my ear.
We still have plenty of time to make Grayson angry. Did you see the way he nearly launched over the table at me during dinner?
You were playing with my hair, I said. You really shouldn't tease him. I'm already on his shit list, and you're not helping. Ian paused to eye me quizzically.
You really don't see it, do you?
See what? He shook his head.
Grayson's jealous. He's never been jealous about anyone. Until you.
No, he's mad, I said, watching Grayson cross the beach alone to the hotel. I knew he wouldn't be at the bar with the rest of the wedding party.
I have that effect on him,
Ian said with a lazy smile.
You might have heard a few stories about me. I'm a horrible brother to Grayson. He was always so perfect and worked hard for whatever he wanted. He was always focused on school or work. The perfect son. As the imperfect younger brother, I could hardly resist the temptation to vex him. I'd steal his girlfriends just to get a reaction.
It sounds like you didn't try to resist at all.
True, but it never worked. The most I received was an annoyed glance.
He didn't care?
If he did, he didn't let it show. I never expected him to wrestle me into the ocean yesterday.
Ian grinned.
I'll remember that until my dying breath. Did I tell you he forced me to sign the divorce papers your lawyer sent to him?
He did. You signed them? Ian nodded.
You are free. I would have signed them for you either way, but I didn't make it easy on him. I stalled until David had to break us apart.
David is injured. He shouldn't have tried to break you apart.
Have you seen him? He's built like an armored truck. He did more damage to us.
Perhaps you should retreat to separate corners for now.
He'll have plenty of space to retreat for a while. I have a plane to catch.
You're leaving so soon?
For a good reason.
At my raised brow, he said simply,
To catch a thief.
I awoke early the next morning to walk on the beach for the last time. The peaceful waves rolled on the sand and over my feet. I'd missed the beach, but after a long and turbulent vacation, I was glad to go home. With a final glance at the ocean, I turned with a sigh and headed to the hotel. Frankie said if we headed out early enough, we might be able to ditch Muffin. It weighed on my conscience. However, another 10-hour car ride with her might make me do something I'd regret. I can't strand her, I thought as my shoulders slumped over. My phone chirped. Reading the text from Caleb, heat spread through me.
Tonight's the night, kitten. My house, midnight.
My phone chirped again.
Don't forget to pack an overnight bag.
I quickly typed my reply. Did you forget I'm going to win? Pack a bag filled with money for me to take home. See you soon. I grinned as I headed to the hotel.
It's about time you got back.
Muffin scolded from the parking lot.
We're ready to leave.
You're awake. I thought for sure after last night you'd be sleeping until noon.
A few martinis won't stop me,
She said.
I already found my new husband.
Where is he?
Right here.
She said, yanking him from the car. The man clutched her mighty fist, attempting to wiggle free.
Hurry up and get Frankie. We need to cross the Nevada border so Frankie can marry us legit.
Frankie strolled out the front door with Leopard Pants Man. Frankie smiled and boisterously laughed at something the man said. When Frankie spotted me, he scurried over.
Change of plans.
He said under his breath. I see that. Are you bringing Leopard Pants home with you?
Yes. He wants to see Vegas, and I thought I could flaunt him around while Mark's serving his 2 weeks.
That's ridiculous. Just admit you like Mark. Frankie sniffed.
I refuse to admit to a lie. Anyway, now that Muffin is bringing a husband home, there's no room for you in the car.
I thought we were leaving her here.
As a single woman, she's a nuisance, but as someone else's wife, she's his problem.
He's from here. He doesn't have a home in Vegas. Where are they going to stay? Frankie blanched.
Oh, I didn't think about that. She's going to want to stay at your place with him. Drat, she's done it again.
Get her out of the car this instant. He eyed Muffin and deflated.
Just lie low for a while.
I have to live somewhere. What about Gus?
I'll take care of Gus.
What about me?
Do I have to think of everything?
He huffed.
Just be thankful I found you a ride home.
He pushed a piece of paper at me that had a phone number jotted down. Who did you pawn me off on? Let me think. A serial killer? Maybe you booked passage in the monkey cage of a traveling circus? Frankie waved me off.
You're being dramatic again. Just call the number. You'll thank me later.
He bustled to the car and hopped in. I watched as Lucille bounced around until everyone was in their seats. I sighed and glanced at the phone number. Well, maybe the person was only a little crazy. I can deal with that. I'm surrounded by crazy. I called the number and waited.
Hi.
A voice greeted. I knew the voice. It was warm and soft. It was the voice that drifted through my dreams every night. I turned to find him walking out of the hotel, his molten gray eyes fixed on me. Grayson. Hi. I returned the greeting as he stepped close.
Frankie told me there was a damsel in distress.
Not distressed, just stranded. I pointed to Lucille's packed quarters. His hand lifted to tuck a lock of hair behind my ear. His fingers trailed my neck and throat until he had to consciously pull away. Muffin wrenched her door open and climbed out.
That's it. I'm sitting in back. How can I get a moment's peace with you trying to leap from the car every 2 seconds? This is dreadful on Bear. Riding in back makes him car sick.
She looked over at Grayson.
Hey, do you got handcuffs?
No, I don't.
He answered, perplexed.
I thought all you rich men in suits were kinky bastards. I read. I know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you have handcuffs.
He doesn't have handcuffs, but the police do, I added, deterring her from continuing. She slid a glance at me.
That's cold,
She said. yanking out Leopard Pants and climbing in the back seat with her future husband. Leopard Pants ran to the front seat and hopped in.
Would you care to fly home on the jet?
Grayson asked me, amused by the spectacle. Yes, I answered, thrilled not to have to ride in the back seat with a carsick Muffin and her escaping fiancé. As Frankie backed out of the parking spot, he hollered out the window,
Good luck tonight, I hope you win.
Grayson's glance slid from Frankie to me.
Do you have a tournament tonight?
Well, it's... I stuttered. Muffin leaned out her window.
It's with that man that redid the floor.
Muffin's eyes glazed over.
See if he'll do it shirtless, like when he did the floor. In fact, have him swing by my apartment tonight. I think there's work that needs to be done.
You're not moving into my apartment, I warned.
You're going to lose anyway,
She stated.
I might as well use our apartment while you're gone.
Gone?
Grayson asked, his eyes calculating threads of the story. Frankie's eyes widened as he began slowly pulling away.
I'm sure she'll be fine. Caleb has to lose eventually, right? And it's only for a year. I'm sure she'll win.
Grayson turned to me in understanding. His eyes glinted.
You wagered with Caleb again? What are the stakes?
$1 million against a year with Nadia.
Muffin answered.
Personally, I think he'd rather have a real woman like me.
Shush, woman.
Frankie barked, then turned to me.
See you at home. Or not.
He tittered, gunning out of the parking lot. The spark in Grayson's eyes had me running after Lucille. Frankie, stop the car. I'll ride in the trunk. He waved and yelled.
The trunk is full. Think of this as character building.
I stopped, catching my breath as he sped down the road and out of my clutches.
Looks like we have the day to ourselves,
Grayson said, walking toward me with a sly smile.
What would you care to do?
I thought we were flying home, I said warily. He smiled, warming my insides but putting me on edge.
We'll fly home after the wager.
But then I'd forfeit. Caleb would win automatically, that's not fair.
Then I'll have to keep you for a year.
Grayson said, wrapping his arms around me.
Perfect timing, too, since I gave my notice to Rotunda.
You did? Why? I asked, baffled.
I want you more than my ledger, as you so aptly called it.
I can't believe you quit. What about money?
If I never work another day in my life, I'd still have enough money for 10 lifetimes, and I'd give it all away just to be with you.
My throat constricted.
I was lost in ledgers before I met you, and I was lost after you were gone. I didn't understand my feelings until you were out of my reach. I'm so sorry for everything I put you through. If you'll let me, I'll prove every day that you'll always come first.
He paused as his fingers played with my hair.
Nothing ever happened between Fiona and me. I've heard rumors of what people think happened while we worked late. It's only that, rumors. She could never replace you. Even though I know she wanted to. It's only ever been you.
I stood still, soaking in his words and the heat of his arms.
I've never been jealous in my life, and I've never ached for someone when they've left until you. I might have been upset for a while, but I never stopped caring. Please forgive me.
I watched in stunned silence as he lowered his lips to mine. Searing heat whipped through as his mouth hovered close.
I love you, Nadia. I will always love you.
A rushing sound filled my senses, rendering my head as blank as his crisp white shirt. He closed the sliver of space and kissed me, claiming my lips. I wrapped my arms around him and gave into his searing kiss, at least for this one moment. I had no intention of backing out of the wager. I had promised Caleb. I had to do it, even if I do love Grayson. This has been Cashing Out, Book 3 of the Nadia Wolf series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Copyright 2013 by Nicolette Pierce. Production copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing.